The topic of today's video requires a little more reflection, distance and deeper thought, because it largely affects each of us and is very sensitive. Job in sales is one of those professions that permeates private life to a very large extent. In fact, this applies to virtually every profession these days, but hardly anyone is aware of it. And even less has the courage to look in the mirror and say that they lead their life exactly as they planned and dream of. Keeping balance and progress require asking yourself a few questions. One of the fundamental are: do you enjoy what you do? Do you find fulfillment? Are you making proper use of time that has been given to you? Do you have a strict plan of action as soon as you get out of bed? Or you are overwhelmed by excess responsibilities, a ton of phone calls, inquiries, or meetings with clients? Do you start your day by talking to your family over breakfast or by compulsive checking your mailbox? What does your regular day look like? Do you carefully plan every hour? You use your time wisely and every call and meeting is truly thought out because you constantly look for new business opportunities and you don't want to waste any single minute? Or maybe the opposite. Every day looks the same, it is filled with daily chores. In other words, is your life dominated by reactivity, or you consciously and proactively approach your daily tasks and responsibilities? It's extremely important to be aware of what we do every day, because we all have a tendency to deceive ourselves. We want to feel needed, feel a sense of good made job, and we want people to respect us and our achievements. Generally, we want to feel important. But instead, we are victims of our own habits, and as soon as we open our eyes, we repeat what we have been doing for the last days, weeks and months. Someone might say, I do what the company or boss expect me to do, and I do my job well, often with dedication. What else can I do? Isn't that what this is about? The problem is that when we live in reaction for a long time, we may not see the bigger picture anymore. Instead of doing things that are really important, we do things that need to be done, and that's a big difference. Because urgent matters are usually not important matters. The point is, we often delude ourselves. We truly believe that being busy is a sign of dedication. Being engaged in daily routines gives us a sense of good-made job and time well spent. And exactly these habits have a particular negative impact on our professional and private life. Once the average salesperson has built a solid customer base, reactivity begins to drive his action. He often loses control of what he does and starts to live in reaction. He receives emails that force him to send another emails, inquiries that require the preparation of an offer, phone calls that provoke meetings, and so on day by day. Is it wrong? No. This is reality. We get used to it. It becomes our routine without which we cannot live anymore. But whether it gives us the fulfillment and can we still develop and grow as a human being and expand our own competences? I highly doubt it. Living in reaction allows us to turn off thinking and driving on autopilot. But that's it. When we focus on urgent things, I mean the ones that need to be done here and now, we run out of time for the most important ones. So, what are these important things? I believe that those that lead to the higher goals. Let's be honest, daily routines are crucial for the smooth running of the business. Sometimes even for our personal growth, but only up to a certain point. Over time they become a chore that must be done at no value and nothing new to our skill set. You must be aware that if you are stagnant for a long time, it doesn't mean you are still in the same place. If you don't work on yourself, you don't develop and sharpen your own skills, you are slowly going down. It's a natural process. What's more, we are all getting older. But we still have influence on the pace of this process, and we can extend it if we take proper care of ourselves and consciously do the right things. Regular physical activity, proper nutrition and mental work ensure that our mind and body receive a constant dose of impulses that trigger our motivation. All that can keep you in a good shape for much longer. Just like alcohol, drugs, watching TV for many hours every day, compulsive browsing of social media, work on autopilot or other bad habits can make you broken man at the age of 30, both physically and intellectually. That's why achieved results are only one of the criteria by which you should evaluate your progress. If you are not expanding your skill set and knowledge, you are slowly going down. Especially if you are an employee, you work for someone, you should be very careful. I've seen it many times. The leading salesperson in a company is prized and glorified. He gets money, bonuses, theoretically gets everything what he wants. But when he loses his job after years of loyal service, he feels lost because he's unable to rebuild what was taken from him. Staying in a comfort zone for years left its mark. The illusory sense of security created a man who lacks self-confidence, who is afraid of new challenges. Because when we stop doing something, we stop being good at it. It's a bit like playing sports. If an athlete stops training, he cannot expect to win the upcoming competition. If he doesn't train, he loses his form, it doesn't stay the same. The same goes for selling. If someone has been living in the sales reality for years, which is a state of reaction, he is slowly losing his skills that allowed him to get to the top. Calls and meetings with regular clients, serious inquiries, regular orders, predictable turnover, it all makes the salesperson feel good, feels a sense of job well done, but loses just as much. Usually there's no time left for the important things. It turns out that he talks over and over again with the same people. The increase in turnover is generated on a very slightly changing group of clients. There is no need or time to look for new clients, as providing the right service for the regular ones is too absorbing. As a result, there is also not enough time to develop new abilities and self-develop. Soon the salesman becomes a hostage of his own company, his obligations and daily duties. Sales at this point is like a speeding truck going downhill that is not easy to stop. Generating a decent turnover and margin doesn't require as much determination and creativity as at the beginning. But starting a new challenge is not like driving a car. It's more like pushing a car that's stuck in the mud with the strength of your own muscles. When you play sports, training and progress is needed to achieve better and better results. If someone runs regularly, he breaks his limits, he can run faster and faster or do longer distances. If for any reason he stops training for a long time, he doesn't start from the point where he stopped after he returns. He has to face regression, and getting back into shape requires a lot of effort. Sales skills follow similar rules. If someone hasn't been looking for new clients for years, has to face many adversities before he builds a new network of contacts from scratch. In most cases, such salespeople lack the internal strength and motivation to undertake such a demanding task. Deep down, they know they can't do it. They fear failure and they lack self-confidence. Years of living in the comfort zone have made them incapable of taking on new challenges that involve even the slightest risk. To avoid this mistake, you must constantly develop your skill set and competence at every level. Constantly take up new challenges and get used to the fact that not everything always turns out as we would like and nothing is given to us forever. The illusory sense of security in the long run will make us powerless. There are many paths to happiness. One of them is the path of self-development, by building a better version of yourself. It's not an easy path, but it gives a lot of satisfaction and certainly one of the most attractive. Successful people have one thing in common. They act. They take time to think, plan what they have to do and go into action immediately. They are constantly moving forward because they know how disastrous inconsequences can be when they stagnate. They try new things and learn every day. In this way, they build enormous self-confidence and faith in their own abilities. By being in constant motion, you will be amazed at how much you can achieve, because many opportunities and possibilities will open up for you. Most importantly, by maintaining constant progress and balance in your life, you will become a better person, not only for your clients, but most of all for your family and friends. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching and see you soon.